Hey, all good now. How are you? I'm great. Holidays are coming up, so already into the already into the holiday spirit. Yeah, 100%. You have things to wrap up for this year, planning ahead for the next one, and 5 days off in between. No, we're going to take 3 days in between next week, and then a couple of more after New Year. Because we're a B2B growth agency and we support clients that they might not take the time off. So we have to basically be there to support them. So, Joseph, before we begin, might I ask, how did you find Sales Captain? Because I think it was an inbound thing. Yeah, called IQ. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I have a cool list with 100 plus lists. Yeah. Yeah, did you find that just now? Oh, no worries, no worries. If it Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, we were kind of curious because the software you're doing is about data. Are you also incorporating intent data on the product level? Yeah, yeah. So we're using Clay and Better Contact, but I think at some point we've also used Contact Out. So we were also curious, like, is this what's this about? And to to be honest, I would say like a good 10% things that were a B2B SaaS from the website. It gives that vibe. It's something that we might need to work on in the new year. Um, so, so what kind? Okay, you thought that we are a software. What kind of solution in softwares are you looking for? Hmm. Yeah. Is there a reason that you mentioned positive reply rates first? Like, is this something that you identified that has an impact on the consecutive funnel, or you mentioned it just because it's like the first step of the funnel? The reason, yeah, the reason I ask is because if there's an issue with the positive reply rate, um, okay, so basically, if you have low open rates, it might have to do with the audience, okay, subject line as well, but most likely is with the audience. If it has to do with positive reply rates, it typically has to do with the messaging and whether it resonates or not. So this is why I'm trying to understand where the issue is. Mhm. Is the goal to target accounts or smaller accounts and then ramp that up to volume? So, okay, can you tell me more about your ICP and how it's segmented? Like, I understand that one part of it is recruiters, but I would imagine that also B2B agencies like SalesCaptain, great ICP, they already use these tools at scale. And if they can benefit from better prices at the volume that they're doing, then it's a no-brainer to try a new service. So can you tell me a bit more about the ICPs and how yeah. Yeah. It's a big market and it doesn't make sense to switch the focus if you already have data that shows that it works. Mhm. Um, Joseph, how many people are in the sales team? 18. Okay. This is quite interesting because I don't want to give you the classic pitch because first of all, you are like a provider on data, so there's no point to discuss over intent data. I think that a good way that we might be able to structure this is to see, and this is mostly on you to see if this is something that you would be willing to do to outsource, or it's something that you prefer to do in-house, because if it's a B2B SaaS, then you're probably looking to do it in-house. Um, so we do have consulting services. I think it makes the most sense because the outbound packages, we have 3,000 prospects engaged per month. This includes lead generation, the contact details, hand vetting the leads and crafting the campaigns. But since you already have a team in place, you have data sources that's literally your own product. I think that it makes the only way that makes sense is to look at this on the consulting scenario. And before I
stop talking, I think that in that case, it might be best to schedule a follow-up call with Bill because he's the consulting expert, the founder of SalesCaptain. And regarding that point, he can add a lot more value than I can. I can just give you the overview, which is pretty much pointless considering that you are in 10 data. Yeah. It's not our own software. We started using Clay for AI conversation. But yeah, basically we're using different softwares, combining different softwares to deliver the message and the service, but we don't have in-house software. Yeah, we because LinkedIn changed the algorithms recently. Don't know if you noticed that the content has become much more interesting. So it's the content from company pages has less reach now because it will only reach out. It will only distribute to the company followers, but for personal profiles because they started to deliver the content to first and second degree connections. So the LinkedIn content service is mostly focused around the executives' profiles and the sales team profile to build a personal brand around the product and the industry. Is yeah, sure. The, the calls. Hmm. Yeah, I think you also have a huge follow base, like 18K if I remember correctly. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, for that we use Taplio to identify relevant content and then we repurpose that given the volume that we do. And depending if we do like crazy volume, we automate most of the part, and then we have writers to yeah, we have copywriters to foolproof the content. If we do low volume and personal branding on executives, it's much more personalized because we want to keep the humane touch. But if we talk about an SDR from a team and let's say 18 SDRs, then that content it still has some elements of authenticity inside and fully relevant because we talk about the same industry, but it's more automated to be able to deliver at scale. Yeah, I thought that's much. Yeah, you guys are doing a great job. That's why we were kind of confused when you booked the call. Like, no, no, absolutely no worries. It's a pleasure to talk to you, anyways. No, to be honest, reply rates across accounts are mostly good. I mean, there are some accounts that had a drop. It's something that happens, but we depending on the deal size, we typically get about 15 responses every week, and around 40% of those end up booking a call. And this is for deal sizes between 10K and 80K. If we talk about deal sizes that are like 500K and above, then it's a much lower rate than that, and it takes some time to ramp up the pipeline until we reach the stage that we get these responses. Yeah, it really depends on on the command. By the way, I wanted to ask about how are you guys adjusting to the spam policy changes? Because I imagine you're doing high volume, probably more than 5,000 per domain, I would say. Way more. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, true. It's even though there are changes happening, it's fairly straightforward to optimize on that, especially if you're below the 5K mark. But even if you're above, you can just simply do different domains and use it from that one. Okay, so Joseph, I'm not sure. Do you have any questions for me? Because I think that, like from my side, I think that the best next step, if it's something that you do want to explore further, is to have another call with Bill and talk about the consulting part and see how maybe we can help ramp up the positive reply rates. And actually, we do sometimes strategy calls between 30 and 45 minutes. It's something that we do for free just because we like the connection with someone. So, I mean, if you're up for that, I can put something down with Bill and from New Year's, and maybe we can discuss around that. It's but yeah, it's sorry, what? To be honest, it's good data, but I think it's a bit outdated because we compared that with Hunted.io, for example, and there are some emails. If the prospect started at the company like 2 months ago, Hunter will find them and Better Contact won't find them. But Clay has become like quite a frequent tool for us. It's because it also has the AI capabilities, so it makes sense to ramp up the credits volume and just use it for different use cases. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we were doing the waterfall approach manually because we have a legion team in Asia. So we kind of we were using around 3 to 4 softwares, and then step by step we're verifying as many emails as possible. But now it's fairly easy to do that at scale. And like Bill recommended contact out like for some research I was doing like a couple of weeks back. I think that we also used contact out in the past. I'm not sure why we switched. This is something that it's quite interesting to discuss with Bill as well because you can also get feedback. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, cool, man. So how about this? Let me check in with Bill to see his availability in the coming year. Do you have some indicative dates that you might be able to make just to? Yeah, would the same time work or around mid-January? Awesome. And just a heads up, because you booked a call through our calendar, you're going to receive some follow-up material after the call. I'm I'm telling you because it's a different case. There's no, I mean, you can go over it if you want, but yeah. it was still quite interesting, to be honest. And I'm really looking forward to the strategy call because there's also always value to get out of these conversations. So no worries at all. It was quite fun. Nice meeting you. Hugo. Have a good New Year's. Ciao. Bye.